Evening, gang. Here we are for another Chris Reardon Live. Yes, it's Wednesday, the 23rd of March, 2022. A warm welcome along to this evening's little programme. What a lovely day it's been, isn't it, eh? Oh, my God, the last few days. Saturday, was Saturday all right? Saturday all right? Yeah, I think it was. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, today. Sunny, sunny, sunny. All my washing is up to date. Done a little bit of a litter pick today. That was all right. A mini litter pick today. A mini litter pick is when I'm going up to the swimming pool with a bag, which delays me about 15 to 20 minutes. But that's okay, because I've got another bag of litter. Happy days. Happy days are here again. Are you happy tonight? Are you happy? Oh, feeling a bit down, are you? Oh, you're going to come on send me a message, tell me how upset you are about something? Please don't. Please don't bring the happiness level down of this programme. We must all be happy. Oh, hello. You know, if you call in, which is blooming unusual, to be honest, if you do call in, you know, don't let me go, and hello today, I don't know, hello today, oh, think of a name, Chris. Hello today, Chris, and how are you today? Oh, it's not been a very good day, Chris. Don't bring the tone, because I just cut you off. We can't be dealing with unhappiness today, darling. Incidentally, today's tip of the day, do not fill up your car until after midnight, because the petrol comes down a whole 5 pence a litre. Whoopie-doo! Thank you, Dishy Rishi. I mean, he is quite good looking, isn't he, old Rishi, don't you think? Dishy Rishi, 5p a litre. Wow. Wow, it's only gone up 35p a litre, so that will really help us out. Thank you very much, Dishy Rishi. Why is he bothering? That saves about £1 a tank. I bet it's not even a pound, is it? Is it 5, 10, 15, 20, 40, 60, 80? Yeah. About £1.50 a tank, I suppose. Every little helps, as they say in Tesco's. Every little helps. Now, here is some very important technical news for you this evening, boys and girls. Tonight's show is coming to you over 4G. All right, we're over 4G, no wires, and I'm on a limited data. Okay, I'm on a limited data. There's no reason why it shouldn't work. It works perfectly all right up at the luxury waterside media centre. It works perfectly well up there. But I haven't tried it down here yet. If you're watching I think I told you last week's show. What's it called when you re-sign up to something? You know, resubscribed, something like that. Resubscribe. What's that called? You know, when your thing runs out and you sign up again. Oh, what's that called now? Subscribe. Maybe subscribe, something like that. My thing has run out. Gosh, I wonder what that word is now. Subscription? No, it's not subscription, is it? Oh, I can't remember what it's called now. Call it a subscription. My subscription to 3 broadband ran out up at the caravan, so I re-signed up for 24 months. And I got a huge discount from like £22 a month down to 14. You know, which is a considerable saving, isn't it? Now, as part of that re-signing up, I know I've told you this before, as part of that re-signing up, they give you another router, because basically it's another account, so to speak. If you see, although it's the same one, you've redone it. You know what I mean? So you get a new router, which I don't want that router, thank you very much. He said, well, you might as well have it, it's free, so I got it. And I thought, I'll try it out here, because at the moment I'm paying £31 a month, which is likely to go up, because this one will run out in May. We're cables here, though, fibre, okay, Virgin Media, okay. I thought I might try it here, because if it's £31 a month at the moment, and that I could get that down to £14 a month with the 4G router. So I got myself a little data SIM, put that in the in the 4G router, and that's how we're running tonight. Okay, so no wires. I've unplugged the little things. I've plugged one wire into that and into the router, which is in my bedroom actually. And the news computer and your messages is all working off Wi-Fi to that router. So everything's coming up over 4G tonight. So that should be perfectly all right. If it goes off, I can see that in front of me, all right? You don't need to start sending hundreds of messages. A little red light flashes on the screen in front of me, so I know we've been cut off. But we'll just see how it goes tonight, just to test it out, because, you know, as you know, in this day and age, if there's money to be saved, blooming well save it. You get nothing for loyalty. Seriously, you don't. You get nothing for loyalty in this world anymore. You really don't. So that's what we're trying out. And if the picture suddenly goes off, don't worry, just stay there, okay? And it just takes me a few seconds to plug something else in and we'd go back on the fibre. But we're on a limited data of about 3 gig, which I think should be enough, but I don't know how much a show takes as I send up in high definition and all that. Well, I've just lowered the quality of the picture a little bit. You probably won't even notice, okay, to save a bit of data today as well, all right? If you'd like to send us a text, you can do so on the text number, top left-hand corner there, 07451 287 337 is my text number. Those texts come straight through to here, okay? And you jump the chat box queue, all right? Just send us a text on that number, 07451 287 337, or you can send an email if you want to, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. As always, I'll jump in and out of the chat box now and again, but don't be too disappointed if your message gets missed. Okay, that often happens because it's very busy in that chat box. If you want to get me a direct message, email or text number at the top there. We'll also try opening the phone line a little bit later on as well. Okie doke. I had a lovely little dinner before I started the show today. Went to Lidl Monday night. Went to Lidl Monday night, got some bits and pieces, and I was attracted to the pizza section. Now, as you know, I usually buy sort of the fresh pizzas in Aldi. They're all the same. Aldi, the Co-op, they're all the same ones. The difference is in the Co-op, they're like £5.65. In Lidl and Aldi, they're about £3.50. Exactly the same pizzas. And I usually have those. But I was attracted for some reason, might have been the box, to this one. This one, which was in the frozen section. I can't remember. Anyone know the price of this? Is Vera with us tonight? She could maybe ask us. She could maybe look this up. I got this in Lidl on Monday night. It was either £2.50 or £3.50. I can't remember. And I've just had this. Oh my God, it's delicious. Why anyone? I don't understand these people who get blooming takeouts from Domino's Pizza and people come and deliver stuff for 20 quid. You are off your heads. And sadly, I don't get it. It's generally the poorer people of this world who do that. You know, I don't understand you. You get your benefits. The first thing you do is take your family down bloody KFC and spend 40 quid. Do you know how much shopping you can get in Aldi and Lidl for 40 quid? I mean, I was in Lidl on, as I say, Monday this week. I spent £24. I had a big Lidl carrier bag. You know, they're very strong. They got like 4 handles, 2 of which are supposed to go over your shoulder, but it don't quite work out that well. I had one of those and 2 other carrier bags, 24 quid. One of the items was this. It is lovely. And I don't know if you can see that, but the crust encases this tomato base filling right the way around. Oh my God. Okay, now this is only cheese and tomato. I generally put something else on top of that. In this case tonight, I put a pepper on the top, you know, chopped up pepper, because earlier on I had pasta. I had a chili pasta with onion and peppers, and I had a pepper left over, so I chopped that up and put, you know, those long. I'm having those long peppers at the moment. You know, the long ones, about, well, I don't know, about 9 inches long they are. Oh, painful. Unless of course you're not used to it. No, listen, unless of course you're used to it. I mean, yes. So I put a chopped up pepper on there. I can't remember how much they are. If Vera's there tonight, I don't know if Vera's. Here we go. Thank you very much. Vera's there. Well, Vera says this is £3.75 at Sainsbury's. Thank you, Vera. Please try this pizza. They are delicious. Absolutely delicious. What's she say? £3.75 at Sainsbury's. I would imagine they're probably about £3.50 at Lidl. They're usually a little bit cheaper there. All right? Try that out. Stop buying bloody takeouts and having them delivered. It's costing you an arm and a leg. Seriously, it's generally seems to be the people with not much money who go out and spend half of their benefits at bleeding McDonald's. You're off your heads. And you know I'm right in saying that you're still hungry. Half an hour later, oh, I feel a bit hungry now. Surprise, surprise. Haven't you learnt your lesson yet? Oh, well. Let's read some of these lovely texts. Hello to Diane Jebb. Good evening, beautiful Diane. Hello, my love. Hello to Paul in Wimbledon. Paul and James are in Ashford tonight. Good evening, Paul and James in Ashford. Good evening to Jason Hughes. Thank you to Joey. You renew it, Chris. Yeah, renew what, though? I can't remember what it's called now. You renew the... It's not a subscription. It's like, when something runs out, your broadband, your gym membership, something like that. When it runs out, what is that called? I can't remember what that's called for the life of me. Contract. That's the word I'm looking for. Contract. When your contract runs out, you renew the contract, and that's how I'm using 4G tonight. We're just testing it on that little thing there. All right, thank you, Joey. Good evening to Mr. Ray Reynolds, who made an excellent appearance last night, didn't you, my darling? Made an excellent appearance at the karaoke last night. Evening, Ray. As indeed Maureen. Good evening to Maureen. And good evening to Vera. Contract is indeed the word. Thank you very much, Vera. These St. Peter's, £2.75 at Asda. Have you got the Aldi price yet, darling? Oh, it may well be $2.50 then. That one. What is it? Chicago Town stuffed crust takeaway load. I mean, you can't go wrong. £2.50 for that. Hello, let's ring up Domino's yet. $19.99, please. Sod that, mate. They got money to burn, some of these people. Except they haven't. That's just it. Get the money on Monday, Tuesday, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Wednesday, McDonald's. Oh, Thursday. Oh, we seem to have run out of money. The government aren't giving us enough. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. You just don't know how to spend it, my darling. Anyway, thank you very much. 07451 287 337 is the text number on the show today. Let's just pop in a little chat box there. Evening to Michael Lawrence. Hello to you. Hello to Michael Lawrence. There he is. Evening to you. Evening to... Is that all? John Paris is there. Evening to John Paris. Gary Ross, £2.49. Is it really? £2.49, Gary Ross says that pizza is in Aldi. Okay, there you go then. So there you go. You can't go wrong with that. You seriously can't go wrong with that, can you? Evening to MP Dodsworth, saying good evening to everyone. Hello to Dan Woodhouse. Evening, Dan. Good evening to George Bond. Evening, George. Is that it? Shall we go up a little bit further? Lisa Barker. Lisa is in the house. Good evening, Lisa. Hello, sweetheart. All right. And any more? I think we've said hello to everyone this evening, haven't we? And evening to lovely Glenda. Evening, Glenda. She's my baby love. She is my own, my baby love. Evening to you, Glenda. Welcome along to our little show tonight, darling. Oh, Auntie Brenda's trying to ring up now. Just a minute now. Hello, Brenda. All right. I'm just doing my video show now, Brenda. All right, my love. All right, you're okay? You're not home yet then, no? Not home yet, are you? No. Soon? Oh, right, okay. That's because no one's been there, probably. Right, okay. All right, then. I'll try you tomorrow then, Brent. I'll ring you tomorrow. Bye now. Bye. That's lovely Auntie Brenda. She had a fall a couple of weeks ago. Hurt herself quite badly, actually. Her bum was really badly bruised and she got a cut on her head, but it was her bum that was bothering her more, and then she couldn't sit down. Oh, awful. She fell over on ice at her place. Anyway, her son's been looking after her. She went back home a couple of days ago. She was going to move back in, and unfortunately she's found mouse droppings in the house, so they got to get mice people in there. That's what happens, you see, if you move out, isn't it? Same thing happens actually to a lot of caravans. People with caravans, they close down for the winter, they come back and they find bits. They've had visitors. V. Do you remember V? Who remembers that programme V, the science fiction thing, the visitors, wasn't it? Thank you very much. So, look, Rachel, get well soon, Brenda. She's a lot better now, but she's got a bit of a phobia with mice, as many people do. I mean, it don't bother me, to be honest. You know, I've got Gary the cat, mate. There ain't a mouse that comes a mile within this house. Not with Gary the cat patrolling. He's so funny, Gary the cat. He's such a wonderful ginger tomcat. He's very, very loving. And he comes to my kitchen door, which is like frosted, so you can't see through it. And I can see his shape. And he just sits there. Sits there, waits for the door to open. I open the door. He gives a meow. The towel goes up and he walks in. He has a little wander around the kitchen, checking for mice and other cats, I'm sure, no doubt in my mind. You know, he then goes out, he comes around my legs, meowing. You have to go down and give him lots of attention. And then he goes and stands at the back door and looks out. Okay, you open the back door, he then goes out the back and keeps walking around the garden looking for intruders. Aren't they funny? Aren't they funny cats? And he can be out there ages. You know, if it's sunny, if it's daytime, he'd go out there and just lay in the middle of the lawn. Quite happy. And I'm happy with him out there. It's lovely to have a little animal friend like that, isn't it? If you go on TikTok, right, you see the amount of animals, people that have created a relationship with all sorts of weird and wonderful creatures. There's one bloke in one of the Arab places, maybe Saudi or Dubai, or clearly someone with an awful lot of money. Oh, you want to see his house. Guess what he's got for pets? Lions. I'm not joking. Actual lions. And he sits with them on this settee. Anyone seen him? He sits with these great, enormous lions on a settee. And they're purring away, and they make this growling sound, which I presume is purring. But they don't like anyone else. They certainly don't like the bloke taking film. Rah, rah, they like that. And this bloke's, come on, calm down. And he's stroking them. Lions. Untrue. There's a bloke on there with a lizard. Quite a large lizard as well. And this lizard comes walking, it comes slowly. You know, they walk slowly, lizards, don't they? Like that, side to side. They walk a little bit. You know, like those girls who wiggle their arse as they're walking along. You know, like on a catwalk. Something like that. They wiggle their arses like that, these lizards. And this lizard, if the bloke's there, this lizard just comes walking across, starts climbing up his leg, climbs up. He doesn't encourage it. Climbs up his leg. It climbs up his leg, climbs up his side, goes over here, goes round the back, and sits up here. It loves it. He gives it a little bath, has a little toothbrush, scrapes all his things. What are they called? Gills? No. You know, it's got like rough in it, a bit rough. Like scales. Are they scales? And then every so often, he'll pull off a piece of skin with some tweezers. Apparently, this is something that you have to do. That's a lizard. There's another bloke. What's this one? Squirrel. I kid you not, he's got a squirrel as a pet living with him in the house. And he can be in this kitchen, and this squirrel suddenly flies off from the other side of the kitchen and attaches himself to him. Oh, it's wonderful. You know, you probably got a dog or a cat or a blooming budgerigar or something like that. You want to see the relationships made between some of these people and the little animals that live with them. It's wonderful to see it. And also the animal with animal. Some very unusual relationships there. Really unusual relationships between animals. There's a cat and a mouse. Honestly, I kid you not. I was watching that one yesterday. It's a big cat, and the mouse is always with this cat. Right, when it goes to sleep, it buries the cat's laying like this. It buries itself under here and goes to sleep. And the lady who owns it, she pulls out this little mouse, right, and it runs back under the cat. And sometimes she pulls out the mouse and the cat attacks her for touching its mouse. There's a cat and a parrot. Cat and a parrot, they love each other. Amazing relationships with these little things. Michael says, I like dogs. Dogs get you out. They certainly do. They certainly do, don't they, eh? Good for exercise, having dogs. I wouldn't take them in the swimming pool. I'd take a very, very dim view of anyone that would turn up in my swimming pool with a dog. They might wee in the pool, mightn't they? How awful. Lots of people wishing Brenda well. Thank you very much for that. Very kind of you to say that. Hello to Michael Pullman with us tonight. Good evening, Michael. Welcome there to the show. Gary Ross says cats sleep too much. Well, they do, don't they? Yeah. But they kind of look after themselves, cats. Yeah, as long as you've got someone to put down some food, they're okay. My mate's very funny with his. He's got 5 lovely cats, and he does not like leaving them. He thinks they get depressed if he's not there. I'm not so much sure about that. I think cats. I mean, he has got one disabled cat who had a brain tumour, which was removed and left him a bit. He seems to not quite know what's going on most of the time. Bless him. Sadly, the brain tumour is back, and it's seems to be quite slow growing. But nevertheless, it's one of those things, and it can't do anything about it. Weird City said some people wee in the pool too. Yeah, I bet it's you, innit? You dirty git, weeing in the pool. Honestly, Weird City, I'm going to make a note of that. Don't go in any pools. Okay, good. Any more text? I better read the. Let's have the email thing open as well. There, I haven't got the email thing open yet. Just a minute now. There we go. Email thing open. Good. Vera indeed writes to all the cat lovers out there: if you have not microchipped your pussy, then you could be looking at a £500 fine. Yes, indeed. This is a story that came up. I think it was this morning, wasn't it? The cat thing. Now, did I keep it here? I thought I bought that in. I don't. No, I haven't got it here. But yes, there was a story in the newspapers today. If you haven't microchipped your cat, you could now get a £500 fine. I don't know why, really, because we don't really have a problem with cats here, do we? Not in this country. They have in Cyprus. Oh my God, you've never seen so many cats. They are everywhere in the towns. Remember, I went to visit Cyprus twice. I went twice. I should have gone 6 times, but unfortunately the pandemic stopped me going. I loved it there, actually. Very slow pace of life. Fantastic bakeries. Everything in these bakeries. Quite slow. Quite a slow pace of life. And then you go to this part of it where there's clearly loads of rich people. But it's a lovely place. Limassol, very, very nice indeed. And Pathos, very much like Pathos. I wouldn't mind going there again for a holiday. But my niece isn't there anymore. So, that was the whole point in going. It's very different going on a holiday if you're not with the family, if you see what I mean. I mean, you can still go around and look at things, but there we go. Thank you very much for that advice there for us, Vera, from Vera's Choice in the Morning. Reach on air. Vera says, cats are being catnapped. People are going around stealing cats. And would you like that, ladies? Someone comes round and steals your pussy, eh? I think that's the most favourite song at the moment at the karaoke is Vera's Pussy Song. Yes. Have you heard her sing that yet? Huh? I don't know if she's coming at the weekend at all. You'll have to put a request in and she might sing it for you. Then again, she might not. Depends on her, doesn't it? Okie doke. Right, let's see what else is in the show today, boys and girls. Who has influenced what you do? Anyone at all? I'll let you call in with this one. We'll open the phone line just a moment. Let's just do that. Now, hopefully that'll work okay. Remember, we're all over 4G today, so something might not work, and we're just trying it out to see what happens. We'll open that phone line in a moment. Oh, it's got to do an install now. But who has influenced you? Your mother and your father, I'm sure, have probably influenced you, haven't you? Eh? Have they? My mother and father certainly did. Yeah. The whole religious thing comes from my mum. She made sure I went to church and did a bit of altar serving, that sort of thing. Got me into play the organ. My mum got me my first jobs, actually. Yeah. She walked into Millet's camping shop, asked if they had any jobs for her son. And she came back, she didn't tell me, come back, I've got you a Saturday job. Oh, yeah? Yeah, Millet's. He wants to go down and see us. So I went down there and I got a job. I was there 1.5 years, 2 years, I think. 16 years old. That was my first ever job. Then I got a job in a little private supermarket. I can't remember if she got me that or got that one myself. Not sure. And I was doing Wednesday nights there, 5 till 10, and occasional other times. I ended up going there full time, actually. Before I went to BT, she got me my British Telecom job. She wrote to British Telecom. Amazing. That was my mum. My dad, what did he influence me in most? Certainly not sport. I really wasn't into sport, and I still am not. Dad was a big football fan. Financially, yes, he taught me about saving, not buying things that you don't need to buy, not being extravagant with money at all. And I've always stuck to that. I remember Dad once, after he retired, actually, he had £10 spare. And he was now of the age where he had the free bus pass. You know, if you're a pensioner. I know perhaps one or two of you are a pensioner and have got a free bus pass. Does that still happen now? Free bus passes? Well, he had one. He had this tenner. He said, I'm just going into town there. He said, I've got this tenner. I'm going to go and put it in the Abbey National. He got on a bus and went all the way down to Putney from Roehampton, which is about... Well, I mean, it's not just that, though, is it? It's not just putting the tenner in. That's a day out to someone who's a pensioner. Isn't it? It's a day out. He taught me to save for things and not to borrow vast sums of money. In my mind, you only borrow maybe 2 or 3 things. A house, not many people have got. I don't know what it is. You know, what average 200 grand for a house. Not many people have got that sitting in the bank, have they? You have, of course, save up a deposit. You ain't got the 200 grand, have you? You know, so you borrow that. Maybe borrow money for a car, although a lot of people lease them now, including myself. And maybe borrow money if you need some medical thing quickly and you've got a long waiting list, I think. That would be something I would borrow money for if I need to. You know, if it's the case of, well, you need a heart operation. Right? I'm afraid the waiting list is about 6 months long. You might be dead before we get to you. Or you can spend £50,000 and have I think I'd borrow the £50,000. You know. At the end of the day, you know, if you die, then you won't have to pay it back anyway. They're my 2 main influences, really. Phone lines open now, 020 8144 3477 if you want to call in. Who influenced you in your life? And as well as your mother and father, what about other people? Perhaps there was a teacher at school that influenced you, was there? Or... someone who was in charge of a youth club or someone in a religious denomination somewhere. Maybe a friend influenced you. Someone like that? Someone who encouraged you along the way, perhaps? What do you think? 020 8144 3477 is my local London number. Work-wise, my influences are Tony Blackburn, DJ extraordinaire, fantastic DJ, best DJ in the entire world. You know I'm right. Tony Blackburn. And talk radio DJs that have influenced me. Steve Allen, LBC. He's still on there now. I think he just had his 58th birthday a few days ago. He's been on there for decades on LBC. Steve Allen influenced me. And a bloke called Mike Dickin, who's no longer with us. Now, Mike, he was very dry sense of humour, very funny. And he used to have a go at the producer. Is that, you know, who's answering the phones tonight? Hello? Is anyone answering the phone? Well, can I suggest you pick up the phones quicker then? Otherwise you'll be out of a job, yeah? And he would have a go at the listeners. You know, is there anyone here who's got more than 2 brain cells put together? Please call in tonight, because it doesn't look like it. He would have a go. And he was always going on about speed cameras. And how annoying they are, and he reckoned static speed cameras were a complete waste of time because people get to know where they are. Now, you would think that would be the case, but believe me, I got done twice by the same speed camera once. How does that even happen? Twice by the same speed camera. Never mind, that's just how it is, isn't it? And he reckons Mobile speed cameras, yes. Static speed cameras, complete waste of money. I mean, in tens of thousands of pounds, these static speed cameras. When you see that's worth tens of thousands of pounds, that thing. It's cost to put up. Oh, yes. Once you've paid the bloke to put the pole in the ground and then someone to make the box and all that business. There's a good example of that down my road at the moment. Do you know, there's been about 4 or 5 blokes working, okay, on a little bit of the road up there. Do you know what they're doing? Putting in 2 car parking spaces. We got a big problem in this road with car parking. A serious big problem. And for the last 2 weeks, they've been putting in 2 car parking spaces. How has that even taken so long? And there's 5 of them putting in 2 car parking spaces. It's a joke, isn't it? How much has that cost? Each of them would be on £500 a week, something 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That's £2,500. So there's 5 of them. I think there's 5 of them. So 2 weeks, well, that's £5,000 for 2 carpets. It's a joke, isn't it, eh? It's an absolute joke. Anyway, was just interested if you've had anyone influence you before. Good evening to Greg this evening. Good evening, Greg. Welcome, sir. Hello to Greg. Don't know if you remember him from last week. Yes, indeed, of course. Of course we do. I'm feeling a little bit better this week. Take life day by day. Try and keep thinking positive. Absolutely, yeah. Greg's mum died last week, if I remember rightly. And he's having a bit of a rough time. Keep smiling, Greg. Move on. And you're absolutely right. It's one day at a time. Like that song, Greg. Shall we sing it together? Ready? Bum, bum, bum. One day at a time, sweet Jesus, is all I'm asking from you. That's a real country music song, isn't it? We love a bit of country music. We absolutely do. Thanks very much, there. Okay, scroll up there. Righty-ho. Okay. What else have we got on the show today? Do you eat out much? What are your favourite places to go? I mean, if it's McDonald's, it's McDonald's. Fair enough. There you go. Dan's called. I knew you'd call in, Dan. No one else calls in, only you. Good evening, Dan.
Yep, 3, 2, 1. No, that's it. No one else. So it'll have to be me then.
Don't worry about waiting for other people. They're not going to call in. You know. No one else calls in. Don't worry, darling.
All right then. I'll
Doesn't
just
bother
be up
me.
to me to shore up the.
I can sit here talking for hours on my own. The funny thing is, when you don't have the line open, you get complaints that it's not open. Well, who's going to call in then?
Yeah.
Funnily enough, you know, Dan, it's the big LBC. Now, that's a call-in programme. But I've heard them before, certainly late at night, and people a lot of people text. People seem to prefer to text now. I certainly know this with the young people. It's very difficult to get someone to ring you. They want to send texts all the time. Nobody wants to talk to you on the blooming phone. All they want to do is send a text.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the same with organisations. You know, you want to talk to them, send them an email, and we will get back to you within 14 days of receipt of this email. You know, you try sending that back to them. When they send back to them, when you get an email from a company or a corporation, send one back. Thank you for your email. I will respond to this within 14 days. See how well that goes. I mean, it would take you a year to get anything done, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Or it's like
on
the phone, you could set up your own crappy music thing on the phone where, you know, where they phone you and then you say, this is Daniel Woodhouse. I will be with you as soon as I can. In the meantime, here's some shite music.
Oh,
and then you just sit there with your feet up.
Bit like the music I played before the show, Dan.
Oh, no, that's not half as bad.
Oh, I don't know so much about that. Anyway, how are you? What you got for us? Who influenced you? Anyone?
Oh, well, I've got to say Grandad, haven't I? I've got to say Grandad Eddie.
Grandad Eddie, really?
Oh, yes. I can't, you know, there's a lot of things that I do and when I think I'm in a bit of struggling a bit, I always think, what would Grandad have done?
Right.
And I just, You know, even when Mum comes out, I remember that a few weeks ago. We had to try and fix the French windows. Couldn't get them open, and I had to, you know, and whatever
Have you got French windows?
Well, if that's what you really call them.
French
just
windows?
the two doors
in a
that
council
open.
property? I haven't even got those here.
Yeah, well, it's just.
Did you manage to skank those out of the council?
Well, I don't know what happened, what they're meant to be called, but we just had a bit of trouble with them, and I had to go and get the knife.
No, don't do yourself in.
Knife.
Don't do yourself in over a piece of DIY that you can't do.
Oh, well, I managed it. I just thought we'd just get a knife in there.
Yeah.
That'll act as a pivot,
Yeah.
and then you just go, and I thought, yeah, that's what Grandad would have done in the situation.
All right.
He was that sort of bloke. He'd just go and get a few. He'd just go and get a few items as tools, and then he'd go. You know, he was the sort of bloke. He used to even the telly would go in the old days when the telly went on the blink, and you just go like, bang it, and then oh, there it is.
Yeah, that's right. You just bang it on the top.
God knows how he would have got on with a microwave, though.
Eh?
I said, God knows how he would have gone with a microwave, though, because he never had one of them.
No, it didn't exist in those days, did they?
Well, no, I mean, he lived up to 1991, so...
My brother-in-law's mother, when she first had a microwave, her name was Doreen, lovely lady, actually. When she turned it on, she would duck in case the microwaves were coming out the front.
Actually, talking of microwaves, I don't think I ever showed this one to you yet. There was a comedian called Ricky Fulton.
Right.
Scottish comedian. Very rarely heard of down here in the south.
Yeah.
Because most of his shows were done only in Scotland. But there's now sketches of him on YouTube. He actually played a TV chef who was the most worst chef in the world, called Dickie Dandra.
Okay.
He had a filthy chef whites on, and he'd do things. He'd like get he'd like say, "Oh, the vegetables have been thoroughly cleaned. I use fairy liquid myself." And they've all been cleaned in a washing up bowl.
Well, that's all right, isn't it? You can use that, can't you, as long as you rinse them off.
And then he said, "Now we're going to add the peppers, because I know you like peppers as well." So we added the red peppers, the yellow peppers, and he said, "Well, why don't we stick in the Sunday peppers as well?"
The what peppers?
The Sunday peppers.
Sunday peppers. Sunday papers, yes, okay. Oh, don't start doing jokes, for Christ's sake, Dan. They're never very funny, my darling.
No, maybe not when I said, but I only do the one about the microwave when he tried actually lighting a microwave oven, because this is the days when they were so new. He tried lit a match. I can't seem to light it very well. And then as he's saying that, an airline pilot walked past. And then he looked up at him and he went, "Oh, I see what's happened. The pilot's gone out."
Right.
Yeah. This rice is lovely.
So can you not eat while you're talking to me and trying these bloody jokes out that you always try?
Oh, is this where I know? I get this
well, just
time
put
of the
the
night.
rice down for a couple of minutes. So it's your granddad that influenced you. Now, do you eat out much?
Oh, eating out? I avoid it, really.
You don't eat out either, same as me. Not really.
I don't. I would probably most likely. I mean, you mentioned about people of my ilk go spending about £30 on a KFC.
Yeah.
I would just rather go to your local independent chicken shack.
Right.
I just buy about 4 chicken pieces. I eat 2 of them when I get home after a night out. The other 2 I save for breakfast.
And how much is that?
That's about £4 or £5.
£4 or £5. And what's the difference between that and KFC, money-wise?
Difficult to say, because I've not actually been in a KFC. I just know it's like, from all the adverts, I just know it's going to cost more anyway.
I've seen these adverts like bargain bucket and this, that, and a few bits of chips, and that's like 25 quid or something like that. I mean, it's a lot of money. Yeah. It's not cheap.
And I'll tell you the thing about fried chicken. How comes? I don't know if you noticed, you go through all these chicken pieces. So you get thigh, wing, leg, breast, And there's this other piece now called side breast. Well, I don't even know what it is.
What's
I've
a
had it.
side?
Tasted
I've
well,
never heard of that.
I don't,
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I mean, you can't get them in Asda.
Right.
You can't get side breast of chicken in Asda, so I don't know where they've come from on the chickens that they're bleeding.
Surely it must be cheaper for you to go and buy like a... I mean, I've seen packets of like chicken legs, I don't know, 20 chicken legs in Sainsbury's for just a couple of quid. It's got to be cheaper and better for you to do that, because then you haven't fried it. You just surely put it in the oven and bake it. Wouldn't it be
I mean,
much
like I say, I only ever get it from there after a night out. But if I'm going shopping, because you do realise, Chris, I do know the secret recipe. You know, the Colonel's secret recipe.
Oh, really? Do you?
Yeah, it has been leaked. There was a man a few years ago, he actually found he had these taste buds for going into a KFC and actually working out in his own mouth what the secret 11 herbs and spices actually were.
In his own mouth, eh? Yeah, funny that.
Yes, two of which are salt and pepper.
It's interesting, isn't it? What I mean, certain people can do with their mouths. I mean, I could probably close my mouth and put things in it and decide sort of how big these things are and, you know... Wonderful, really.
Yeah. Oh, and don't forget Saturday.
Yeah.
Bit of a special coming up Saturday.
Oh, why? What you doing then?
Saturday is going to be as organised by the people call themselves the London Bus Museum.
Yes.
They organise a special running day on Route 101, which goes through East Ham, which, as you know, was my old stamping ground as a kid. And so the Route 101 will be run by route masters and RTs this coming Saturday, which will give me a chance to ask that burning question that a lot of people want answered. Are the buses really better with conductors and route masters and RTs and getting on the back and having a whale of a time?
I can't wait for Saturday. That is very, very exciting.
Yes, because I'm going to be there. I just have a feel for this. I just... feel that the modern one-man bus, to me, with all this like wheelchair accessible and all that, I think really they're built for them. They're built for people in wheelchairs. I don't know, because Chris, you wouldn't know what it's like, would you, when you get to the bus stop and someone with a wheelchair has to get on?
I used to ride on buses. I used to love riding on buses and trains. Then I got a car. And I like going on buses, but I'll be honest with you now. If I stood at a bus stop now and I got on bus, the first thing I do is pull out a load of coins from my pocket, and I know they're going to say to me, oh, you need this. Well, how do I get one of those? You've got to go and buy one before you get on a bleeping bus from a shop. But it's 11 o'clock at night.
But
I don't know how it works. I don't know how buses work anymore.
Yeah, well, certainly we're getting a wheelchair when it's not straightforward. You have to get the people off first who want to get off, close the doors, lower the ramp, then the person in the wheelchair has to get themselves or their helper has to get them up that ramp onto the bus. Then you have to close the doors and then draw the ramp back up again.
Right.
Before you can take off. Now, that, if, like... especially you've got someone who's not quite... So I've seen someone really struggle getting their wheelchairs up there. But you imagine if there was like 2 or 3 of them in a whole trip on a certain bus, like the 165 or something, that could possibly set you... Say it takes at least 2.5 minutes to do it. You're then losing time, you see. See, for somebody like me, Chris, a bus journey is about time. It's about the quickest way I can get from here at Mum's into Romford as quick as I can. I don't want to be lingering on buses for too long.
I don't think the buses want you lingering on them, to be honest.
Yeah, I just don't really want it. But what I think they should... What you're going to realise on Saturday, what I think they should
just
do,
a minute.
They need to compromise. I think a compromise.
I can tell you what to do straight away looking at this problem. I know what to do straight away looking at that problem. If you often have this problem, do you know what to do? Get the bus before.
Get the bus before?
Get the bus before the one you usually get. Therefore, if you're delayed, it will work itself out. Why do you think I leave my house at 4 o'clock on a blooming Friday and a Saturday and a Wednesday to do a 1.5 hour trip to get there at 6:30? I give myself 2.5 hours instead of 1.5. And you know what happens? I'm never, ever late because of that. So just get the earlier bus and stop moaning.
Yeah, well, either that or I think,
Or
actually,
walk.
no, because that what I was thinking, that's not going to...
Can you
All I was
walk it?
thinking
How
was-
long is the walk?
From my mum's in Elm Park to Romford?
Yes, how long would that be?
I did that once, actually. I think it seemed to take about 40 minutes. It
40
was a bit
minutes, that's
exhausting.
blooming fine. I walk 45 minutes each way on a blooming Saturday morning usually. I go 2.5 hours, 2.5, 3 hours litter picking. Stop moaning and just walk. Might lose some bleeding weight then, dear.
Yeah, I think there's a big difference, I think, between you out of town people and me within the Greater London boundary. I think we get so used to transport being so frequent.
Or being lazy. You get used to being lazy.
Well, I suppose you could say perhaps it does make us lazy, yeah.
Well, there you
Perhaps
go. Get up off of your fat
London
ass and
probably are
start
the
walking a
fattest
bit more.
Not in the world, probably.
Maybe you could get
It
yourself a
might well
dog.
be. Yeah, I think I'm going to, but yeah, certainly come Saturday. I think, I'm going to recommend all these people who own all these RTs and route masters. I think they need to have a club of them, a club.
Yeah, well, I think you should
where
set up a
every-
little club for them, and then you can talk to them, and they will understand
Yeah,
what the
because
hell
I think
you're
they
going on
need.
about, dear.
They should every weekend at least. There should be a certain London bus route. They set a certain
What is
London
he
bus
going on
route
about?
to run that route with RTs and route masters for that day, and then shift it
only
round
point
so
having
that
this phone
everybody
open.
across London has a taste of what it's like to get on a real man's bus. A proper man's bus.
A man's bus, yes.
Yeah, that's what they could do. I mean, certainly the RT, they call them man's buses because you needed a lot of manpower and you had to really pump this brake or do. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, I can't drive, but they told me that a lot of it took a real man to actually drive an RT.
Well, there was no power steering, was there?
That's probably what it is. Yes,
That is what it is. They had great big muscles, these blokes.
yeah.
There's no power
think
steering. Now you can turn the blooming thing around with your little finger. It's all done for you. More laziness. Anyway, Dan, thanks so much for your call tonight.
Yes.
Enthralling
and,
as always. Cheerio.
Yeah, best. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Dan. Bye-bye now. There we are. Dan, I don't know what he's going on about after bloody time, honestly. Christ's sake. Let's have a look here. Good evening to Mick. Built in Scotland is in the house this evening. Good evening, Mick. Gary Ross bus timetable and your Peter Storm jacket for Saturday. I thought he was going to say he was going to turn up at the karaoke. Have you noticed since Dan stopped coming to the karaoke, it's got a lot busier? Why is that? Why is that? Evening to Paul and Lou. Evening to Paul and Lou joining us this evening. Good evening to you two lovely people there. Gary Ross, the back of the bus. Oh, that's where we used to sit when we were smoking from school. Used to get on the 85 bus from Putney Bridge Station to Roehampton, straight upstairs, at the back, light up the cigarettes. 15 years old, we were smoking our heads off at the back of the bus. Can't smoke on there now, can you? Good. Glad you can't smoke on bus. Oh, you used to get on there stinking, wouldn't you? 0208 144 3477. You want to give us a call tonight. Let's just scroll up there a little bit. You talked about snooker this evening, are you? Chatting away about snooker. Okay. Right, there we are. Okay, good. On the text number, Fran. Hello to Fran. Good evening, Fran. Have you watched Holby yet? I've watched 20 minutes of it. I have 20 minutes to watch afterwards. Basically, what happened is after 6, I got up at 6:30 and I put a pizza in the oven, which you saw earlier. Did you see my pizza from earlier? Anyway, get these from Lidl. Right, £2.50. Lidl. Absolutely delicious. So I had that. Then I started Holby, and then I I came up here and done some stuff, got the thing playing the music and the warm-up clock on and all that business. Then I went back downstairs and I looked at the clock, and Holby was on for 20 minutes and I had 21 minutes before the start of the show. So I've got 20 minutes left to watch. I'll tell you where I'm up to, Fran. She's gone into the operating theatre. It looks like she's collapsed. The little fat doctor, he's a lovely man, isn't he? Wouldn't you want him to work with you? So kind. The one with the big glasses and the curly, a little fat one. He's rescued her, put her in a hospital bed, and yeah. That's whereabouts I am at the moment, okay? So I've got 20 minutes to watch. And, of course, the last Holby City is next Tuesday night, boys and girls. Next Tuesday night, okay? No one talking about who's influenced them at all. Dan Woodhouse says, no one's asked what an RT is. Perhaps they're just not interested, Dan. Perhaps they're just not interested, you know, unfortunately. There we are, my darling. Okay. On the buses. Oh, Paul and Lou. Now you're talking. Yeah. My sister and her brother-in-law and my brother-in-law love that. They love it. Absolutely. As indeed do I. I've got box sets downstairs of On the Buses. My sister bought me for Christmas some years ago. Films as well. It's a Great Life on the Buses. There was a theme music like that to one of the On the Buses film, wasn't it, eh? There we are. Good. Moving on then. You cannot do this to Hot Cross Buns. Anyone seen this story? Shocking. Absolutely shocking. Now, a few years ago, I must say I was in Waitrose. And I saw these Hot Cross Buns, Heston Blumen bloke, whatever his name is, Blumen Time, I don't know what his name is. Heston Hot Cross Buns with a difference. And I bought them. And it says it's a cross between a hot cross bun, oh Christ, Bakewell tart. Hot cross bun and Bakewell tart. They looked exactly like hot cross buns. Thought, yes, let's try some of these. Were slightly more expensive, being in Waitrose, of course. But we'll try these, and I took them home. And I put them in the oven, I got them out, and they looked delicious. They smelt delicious. And I put one in my mouth. They were bleeding vile. They were vile. They tasted like Bakewell tarts. But, of course, completely different constituency. You know, Bakewell tart is like a thin thing, isn't it? You know, if you get that, I always like the Bakewell tarts at Sainsbury's. They've got like a white icing with like stripes on. Vera, you know the ones. White, soft icing on the top with the crisscross bits. Delicious. Bakewell tarts, Hot Cross Buns, Heston crossover. Horrible. Horrible. But it gets worse. It gets worse. This was in the Daily Star. It was in a few other newspapers as well. Okay, Daily Star a take on this one. Gavin Ashenden, the Queen's former chaplain, has claimed supermarkets and restaurants are forgetting the Christian roots of hot cross buns by filling them. A filled hot cross bun? Oh, no. No, that's kind of... That is not doing it for me at all, I'm afraid. A filled hot cross bun? There's only one filling for hot cross buns, my dear. That is butter. If you want to include that as a filling. How do you do your hot cross buns, by the way? Mine go in the oven. My mate, he likes to put them in the toaster. Nah, not right. Mind you, you can't... Honestly, when he comes round here, hot cross buns, for example, it creates a row. I put them in... Why you put them in the oven? Well, that's how I like them. No, put them in the toaster. Watch this. No, just leave me alone to put them in the bloody oven, dear. That's how I like to do mine. I put them in the oven on, whatever. When they come out, they're all hard around the outside and soft on the inside. And there's only one day for hot cross buns. Good Friday, darlings. Not Easter Friday. There is no Easter Friday, as I saw on a poster the other week. I was straight on the message system to the head of the Catholic Church on the Isle of Wight, Shania. There was this poster in London. I saw it. Big event. DJs, DJ MC, vocals, drum person. And the date on Easter Friday. Easter Friday, sorry. What's that? Easter Friday? No, dear. Good Friday. Oh, there's no hope anymore, is there, darling? Please, Lord, take me back to the 1970s when everyone knew everything. I mean, the amount of thickos that you have to deal with these days. Well, some thickos going on here, dear. Putting cheese in hot dogs, hot cross buns. The Queen's former chaplain has claimed supermarkets and restaurants are forgetting the Christian roots hot cross buns by filling them with chocolate, caramel and cheese. Oh. What, like a sandwich? A cheese hot cross bun? No. Tell me, would you try one of those? Daily Star says food giants are doing the devil's work by defying hot cross buns, or was it deflinging? I don't know what it says there. By filling hot cross buns with chocolate, caramel and cheese, according to the Queen's former chaplain. Gavin Ashton, Her Royal Highness's chaplain at St James's Palace for 10 years, said the cakes are Christian roots. They're not cakes. Why is he saying that? Why are they saying they're cakes? They're not cakes, dear. They're buns, dear. Originally eaten on Good Friday, the buns symbolise the crucifixion with flour paste cross. That's what they're for. That's what they symbolise. Of course, the supermarkets saw it fit to bring the damn things out all year round. Do many of you buy hot cross buns other than around Easter? Perhaps some of you do. You know, I just don't like this whole thing where everything is available all year round. And the whole Christmas trees going up in bleeding October. It just spoils it. I think things are spoilt by being available all year round, and the supermarkets would quite rightly come back to you with a comment, but that's what the customers want. Originally eaten on Good Friday, the buns symbolised a crucifixion with flour paste cross decorations represented the cross on which Jesus died. Spices inside were said to reflect those used to embalm Jesus after his death. There you go. We are actually eating embalming things. Did you know that? I like a hot cross bun. I really do. And you don't have to spend money on them. I seriously don't. You know, you don't have to go and get the posh ones from Marks and Spencer's. I've had hot cross buns from Aldi, I don't know, 59 pence for 4 or something silly like that. And they are blooming delicious. In the oven. I have them every Good Friday when I wake up in the morning. And this year, I've got the added advantage of having a timer on the oven. Just imagine that. Good Friday this year, I will get up, okay, and go down to the kitchen. My tea will be, the kettle will have boiled, and the whole kitchen will be filled with the smell of hot cross buns. And before you say, yes, but you've given up bread and cakes for Christmas, yes, but it's Good Friday. Hot cross buns, Good Friday, that's fine. Okay? Just waiting for someone to come out with some comment like that. Dr. Ashton said new hot cross bun-based products launched to broaden their appeal has warped the symbolism, and the Christians was not an accident. Now, and he goes on about it being the devil at work. Well, I'm not so sure about that. Right. But honestly, certain things, they muck around with stuff, don't they? I think it's like chefs and people like that trying to make a name for themselves. Hello, I've reinvented the hot cross bun. No, you haven't, because it's bloody awful. Cheese hot cross buns. I can't think of anything worse. It must taste vile. Unless they've taken something else out. That's not going to work with spices. Mind you, we've said that about chili chocolate. Have you ever had chili chocolate? It's all right, actually. I've had that. Aldi have launched a hot cross bun gin liqueur flavour with notes of caramel, raisins and spice. KFC have launched a hot cross bun burger with chicken and cheese. I mean, it just sounds vile, doesn't it? But that being said, because I can always see the other side of the story, all right? That being said, they wouldn't have bought that out had they not have tested it on people. organisations spend vast sums of money trying something out on large groups of people before they introduce it into their shops. So KFC would have gone out somewhere all over the place and said, would you try this, please? And people would have given their thoughts on it. And it's obviously worked. Otherwise, they wouldn't be selling damn stuff. Not for me. Not for me. Do you want to try a nice... Anyone fancy the idea of that? KFC, a hot cross bun burger with chicken and cheese. What do you reckon on that one? Eh? Vera says, I agree with Ronnie. Hot cross buns in the toaster. No. But turn the toaster off before you put anything in there to retrieve them. The grill takes too long. No, I don't put them in the grill. They go in the oven. Not under the grill. The oven goes on. You know, the whole oven. Not just the grill bit. And they go in there. Oh, so nice. That's how my mum always done them. I think I'm influenced by my mother when it comes to hot cross buns. Good Friday. I can't wait, Vera. It's by the way, Vera's with us from Vera's Choice in the morning. Vera's Choice in the morning. Reach on air. Yes. Thank you. Fran, Elliot. Yes, Elliot was the bloke in Holby City, wasn't it? He's great. He's great. Thank you, Fran. Just going to pop in the chat box there. Good evening to Happy Harry. It's an unusual one. Evening to Happy Harry. Greetings to you. Let's have a look. Anyone say anything about hot cross buns there? Oh, Happy Harry. Is that the music for On the Buses? Da 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 da. Danny isn't gay. Hang on, have we got a little bit of a troll here? Let's have a look there. Is someone attacking Dan? One moment. I used to be George's boyfriend. I think you're a bit of a troublemaker, Happy Harry. Bye. Don't be upsetting my regulars, please. Thank you very much. Scroll up a little bit there. You're still talking about cars and buses, are you? Okay, there we are. Good evening to Greg Goddard. Good evening to you, Greg. Oh, sorry, I've said hello to you, haven't I, already? Sorry, Greg. My fault. There we are. I'm not paying full attention to this. Trying to keeping an eye on everything is a little bit of a thing sometimes. All right. Where did we get to on the hot cross buns? There we go. Audi have launched. I've told you the Audi one. Tesco's have announced 6 new varieties in time for Easter, including taking hot cross bun innovation to the next level. Marks and Spencer's. What did it say? It just says Tesco's have announced 6 new varieties. And taking hot cross buns to the next innovation, it says for Tesco's. Marks and Spencer's offers a range of extremely cheesy and extremely chocolatey hot cross buns. I mean, it's just not doing it for me. Waitrose offers white chocolate and lemon flavours. Sainsbury's sells a cheddar and caramelised onion chutney hot cross bun. Dear. I'm just not doing it for me at all. It made me feel quite ill, actually, having sounding something like that. As for being sacrilegious, well, I'm not so sure about that one, you know, but there we are. Vera says hi to Rachel. Good evening, Rachel. And that's from young Vera today. All right, my darlings. Okie doke. What else have we got? I'm not sure if anyone's going to join in with anything tonight, to be honest. What is the most you would spend on an Easter egg? All the shops have got them now. They've had them for months, as you well know. Boxing Day comes. There they are. Sometimes before Boxing Day. In the supermarket shelves in a little section. And gradually, as the time goes on, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, doesn't it? Let me tell you, get your Easter eggs now. You'll save money, okay? They're dirt cheap at the moment. Easter eggs are nothing like what they were when I was a child. The chocolate was that thick. You struggled to eat a whole Easter egg when I was a child. I'm telling you that now. Not anymore. Not anymore. They're a bit thin. No wonder you give each other, you know, what you give the children, like loads of Easter eggs. I know my great nieces and nephews get loads of Easter eggs. On the other hand, they're quite thin. And you get through them. My Easter egg to go to was generally Cadbury's Flake. That was really big, really thick. Quite like Cadbury's fake. They're my favourite Easter eggs, Cadbury's ones. Nice. Oh, do you know what? I've got that. Oh, I could die for one now, actually. I really want an Easter egg now. Cadbury's cream eggs, I quite like those. What would I pay for an Easter egg? £2? £3 maybe? And you get the really posh ones sometimes. I have given posh Easter eggs before. If I remember rightly, I bought my sister a couple in the past. Posh Easter eggs. You know, £20. Thornton's, Hotel Chocolat. Places like that. I mean, Hotel Chocolat doing them. Let's have a look. Hotel Chocolat. Hotel Chocolat Easter eggs. There we go, £30. They look lovely. Oh, that's a nice one. Hang on, what's that one there? That does look very nice. Champagne, thick champagne Easter egg. £30. A lot of money, isn't it? A lot of money. £30 for an Easter egg. Lavishly thick chocolate eggs are the epitome of indulgence. Voluptuous and opulent, this egg is for serious chocolate lovers. A champagne egg consists of two perfectly balanced halves, one 40% milk chocolate and the other strawberry white and milk chocolate. It just sounds absolutely delicious, doesn't it? £30? I'd go £30 on an Easter egg. That's about it. You know? There are other more expensive Easter eggs, I tell you that now. Much more expensive Easter eggs. How about a Claridge's Easter egg? Check those out. Claridge's Easter eggs. Is that looking nice for you? Celebrate this special occasion with the limited edition Claridge's Easter egg. Now, you know, that's where I've been a couple of times for afternoon tea. The last time was at Christmas time, and a wonderful time we had as well. You know, highly, highly recommend Glenda, if you're with us and you ever come to the UK, take yourself out to Claridge's for an afternoon tea. It's not cheap, darling, but you'll only do it once. Or if you're like me, twice, maybe 3 times. I don't know. But they're doing their own Easter eggs. They do various different things, actually. Now, Claridge's are an expensive place. Okay? I'm quite surprised at the price of this Easter egg. It says this Art Deco treat. Look at the wrapping. Beautiful. This Art Deco treat is inspired by our striking black and white marble lobby, bringing the elegance of Claridge's to this traditional Easter gift. These handmade Easter eggs are crafted from the finest quality Valrhona milk. I don't know what that is. White or dark chocolate. It takes 3 days to carefully craft each one, from hand tempering and moulding the chocolate to assembling and wrapping the finished egg. With its black and white chevron design, wrapping and black satin bow, the Claridge's Easter egg looks almost too good to eat. But break it open and inside you'll find a selection of handmade salted caramel Gull's eggs. They're not actually Gull's eggs, you know, they're chocolate things. Your Easter egg comes beautiful presented in a Claridge's jade box. And how much do you think they are? £100? £200? £60? £60. I'll be honest, that's probably more than I'd spend on one single Easter egg. Not when you can go to, you know, your local supermarket and you can fill up a shopping trolley with, or, you know, at least a basket, can't you? Who on earth is this calling? Can you excuse me a moment? That's a Bracknell number. Hello? Yes? Oh, hello, John. I'm just doing a video show at the moment, John. Can I call you back? Are you up till 10? Just after 10. All right, John. No, I'll ring you after 10. I'll ring you after 10, John. Yep. Okay, mate. Bye now. Bye. Oh, Bracknell number there. That's unusual. Call at this time of night. That's actually the old organist from the church who wanted to talk to me about Easter. Where were we now? Yeah, Claridge's eggs. So, I mean, I don't think I'd spend £60 on an egg. Unless I had someone really special in my life, I might sort of buy one there. Maybe that's what I should do. Select someone and send them a Claridge's Easter egg and see if that works. Huh? There might be one or two people I fancy at the moment. I don't know. Eh? George says, my nan said George Foreman for her hot cross buns. George Foreman. George Foreman grill. Do you mean the George Foreman grill? Is that what your nan does? She puts them in the George Foreman grill. So would she cut them in half and do it like a burger bun, I suppose? That's how George Nan does hers. Thank you, George. Vera says, I'm planning to throw myself into the pile of Easter eggs in the warehouse. It will be death by chocolate. Yes. And she says, don't go near any Easter eggs. Don't worry, there'll be no Easter eggs going down this gullet until Easter, my love. Certainly not. Certainly not. Built in Scotland, Power Rangers chocolate egg. Is that one you want? Gary Ross, £2.50 on an Easter egg if it's got a free mug. Do you remember that? They used to have free mugs, didn't they? Used to get a mug. I don't think I've not seen those for ages. Gary Ross, built in Scotland, will spend £1 on an Easter egg. £1 on an Easter egg. Hello to Mr. Jim Bob. Evening, Jim Bob. Welcome to our little strange, mysterious show. We're not too busy tonight, are we? Harrod's Easter egg, Gary Ross. He's looked it up. 300 quid. Blimey. Excuse me, your missus will be very pleased that you've decided to buy her one of those. I'll send her a little message, shall I, Gary? Do you want me to send her a little message? Eh? I'm just trying to remember her name now. Sorry, I can't remember your missus's name. It's gone right out of my head. I'll find her. I'll send her a little message. Shouldn't really be telling you this, but I found that Gary's spending £300 on a Harwich egg. She will look forward to that, Gary. That's very, very generous of you. John Parrish has sent us a tip tonight. Thank you, John. John Parrish sent me a £1 tip. Thank you very much. As £1 for the egg. Hello to Nick. Nick Reel in Nick in Oregon, USA. Hello to you, Nick. Presumably, Nick, your shops, Walmart, Target, they must be full of Easter eggs at the moment. Eh? We're just talking about Easter eggs if you just joined us tonight. And how much would you spend on an Easter egg? Most people are saying £1. You can get pound Easter eggs. Probably cheaper in Aldi. Gary Ross says she can go to Harrods and stay in London. Oh, you're not going to ask her to go and get her own egg, Gary, are you? Please. You don't need to go into London anyway. Do it mail order. I bet she's really looking forward to that now. Can't wait to tell her. Can't wait to tell her. She'd be so excited to receive a £300 Easter egg from Harrods from you for Easter. What a kind man you are. But I thought you were kind sending me the occasional tip now and again, which I'm much appreciated, have you well know. But to spend £300 on an Easter egg for your lovely lady is really going out of your way. I thank you on behalf of her, OK? John Parrish just sent another £1. Is that a mistake, John? John, I think you've sent me £2 accidentally now. Anyone else want to send a tip? Just use that button on there, or you can do a PayPal if you want to. There's my PayPal. That's one for the cat. Can cats have chocolate? I know dogs can't have chocolate, can they? Very dangerous for dogs to have chocolate there. Nick says, not many Easter eggs over here in Yankee Land. Just Cadbury's mini eggs. Some X-Pac stores have them. Oh, presumably you've never tried a Cadbury's cream egg then. And would I be right in thinking that, Nick? They are delicious. Oh, they're so nice, they are. They really are. Scroll up there. Right. Okie doke. There we are. One for the cat there. Anyone else? Emails. There we are. Thank you very much. Good. Well, that's our Easter egg story for you. What else have we got there? Would you like to be a butler? Now, one of my favourite programmes to watch at the moment on the telly is Downton Abbey. We're still watching that at the moment. There's, I think, 6 series. If you're in America, seasons. There's 6 series or seasons of that, okay? And there's also a feature film. Okay, there is a new Downton Abbey feature film coming out next month in April. So I shall certainly be watching that. If you've not watched the series on the telly, I wouldn't worry too much. I think the film will probably stand on its own. Okay? But there's a second Downton Abbey film coming out soon. I saw the first one and it was marvellous. The second one's looking just as good. We saw the preview to this when we went to the cinema on Sunday because me and my mate went to see the Nan film. Catherine Tate, the Nan film, that's on at the moment. Very, very funny. Highly recommended. But doing the sort of, what do you call them, previews, trails. You know when they show the trails of future films, Downton Abbey come out. So I'm very much looking forward to that. But we do like Downton Abbey. And I quite like the whole Butler thing and the fact that the people are really looking after, they seem to really look after the people that work for them, like the butlers and the footmen and the kitchen staff and the ladies' maids and all that. They are looked after very, very well by the family, which I think is great. But they're looking for butlers. Again, a story in the Daily Star. Butlers with bums. Now, have you got a decent arse? Because if you have, this could be the job for you. Butlers with Bums and the Adonis Cabaret claim they simply cannot find enough men willing to get naked for work at hen parties, and they are currently hiring. Is this the job for you, chaps? Are you happy to get your kit off? 2 UK-based companies are looking for blokes who love... Thank you very much to Gary Ross. Now, Gary... Now, just because I say tips and thank you for your past tips doesn't mean to say that you have to send one. I just want you to say thank you very much for that. I do appreciate that. But don't think I just say that to get a tip, all right? But thank you very much. Very kind of you. Gary has sent me a tip. Thank you very much, Gary, for your £10 tip. Have I played the jingle? Here it is again. Not sure that I played that. That's not bad, is it? £12 a show. I'm almost on the same money as the little Irish bloke on BBC One. Thanks, Gary. Much appreciated. Although, do you want me to send that back? You might need that for that £300 Harrods Easter egg you're going to buy your missus. Eh? Back to this story. Perhaps this job's for you, Gary. You could earn a little bit on the side. 2 UK-based companies are looking for blokes who love working out and enjoy showing off their hard-earned bodies. Those who meet the requirements could be hired to help hen party guests have memorable events by working as butlers in the buff. Butlers with Bums and the Adonis Cabaret claims there is a national shortage of naked men. All you need to be up for the job is to be confident and up for mingling with hens. Oh no. Oh, you'll have all them women touching you, won't you? And jumping on top of you, coming round the back for a bit of extra. How's your father? Do you know what I mean? Oh no. Oh, believe me, I've seen young women, groups of them drunk. It is not a pretty sight. They are throwing themselves at these blokes. It says that as well as being between... Oh, you've got to be between 23 and 38. Oh, what a shame. I was going to apply for that. It says you must be unafraid to bear the booty, as this is a naked butler's role. You get your arse out. You know, in straight bars, and it's very much frowned upon now, I'm afraid. But certainly in the 70s and 80s, a girl would go by and say, "Get your tits out for the lads." Do you remember that one? Sorry, girls. I'm just telling you how it was, right? In the gay bars, it's come, "Get your arse out for the lads." That's how it is. Except we still do it, and no one moans. He added a shortage of, directors of Butlers with Buns and former butler himself, Dan Harley, noted that demand for naked male service is up again now the pandemic restrictions have eased. He added that the shortage of nude blokes is proving a problem for his business. And he said, we have a lot of demand for our buff butlers across the UK right now for hen do's, birthday parties and corporate events. But because of the pandemic, there is a national shortage of guys, and it's becoming a big problem for us. I don't know how much money they get. Anyone who is hired for the role will need, get ready, will need to engage in the playful party antics, serve canapes and drinks, and even pose for photos with the guests. So there we are. Now, I know there's an age limit on this one, but I have nevertheless still. Hang on a minute, John Pound's just sent another £1. Are you all right tonight, John? Where's your lovely missus tonight? Where's his missus? Hello? Where's Sherry? Sherry's got hold of that remote control again, darling. I told you, hide it away from him after 9 o'clock. He's throwing his money at me tonight, my love. I've never had so much money thrown at me by an old man like that. Oh, no, hang on a minute. I was when I was 18. Jason says, when I was last in a Butler in the Buff, all the ladies wanted the jumbo sausage, but it wasn't on the message. Jumbo sausage, yeah, if you say so, Jason. I've heard a few stories about you, my love. Jumbo sausage, do me a favour. I have already... Even though there is a bit of a limit on the age there, I have prepared a photo to send in, and here it is there. I think I look quite good, don't you? In that little outfit. What do you reckon, eh? That's one of the lads from the gym there. There we go. I think I look quite good, don't you? Do you think I might get the job there? I don't know if I need to work out perhaps a little bit more. I'm not quite as buff as the one on the right-hand side, but that is me there, as you can see, you know. Huh? We are having a giggle tonight, aren't we? Nick Real said they do indeed sell cream eggs over in the States. Oh, they're delicious, they are. They really are delicious. Let's have a look there. One-armed butlers. They can take it, but they can't dish it out. Evening to Mandy. Good evening, Mandy. Mandy's in the house in charge of pain and suffering on this channel. Hello to you, Mandy. Welcome back to the show, my darling, all right? Let's just see what anyone has to say now. Straight down. Nick says, I wish I could lose a few pounds. It's not easy, Nick. I'm in the same boat as you. I'm about 12 stone 9, I think, at the moment. I got down to 12. I put £2 on for some reason since... Well, I weighed myself Sunday and it was 13.7. Now it's 13.9. But that's down from 13.11. It's not easy losing weight once you go over a certain age. I was okay till about 47 and then it just started going up. Very late. I'm 59 now, Nick. And I have a real struggle keeping my weight off. Really do. It's just one of those things. But we keep trying, don't we, Nick? We keep trying, Nick. Good. Alrighty. Text. Vera says, because of the lockdown, all the fit guys gained all that weight. Well, you're not wrong there, my love. You're not wrong there. They call it COVID belly, apparently. My specialist doctor I go to see twice a year, he calls it COVID belly. He says, oh, you've got a bit of COVID belly, haven't you? And I thought, no, not really. It was always like that, mate. All right, onwards. Cat lovers. I've told you the cat lovers story. Could your life be made much more simple? Now, I speak that. I'm sitting here. Technically, I have 2 computers in here. I've got a mobile phone. I've got electric lights. I've got battery-operated clocks. There's wires in here. So much technology in here. Oven downstairs, all on with timers and big TV down there. Could you live more simply? Do you think maybe you might be happier? I remember when I was in Florida, when I took my nephew to Florida some years ago, and we were in SeaWorld. And we came across this group of people that were all dressed the same. And I recognised them from old films. I couldn't quite put my name on it. So I spoke to one of them. Spoke to this bloke. And they were a young couple, boy and girl. I said, hello, can I ask, is it a religion you are? And he says, we're Amish people. Okay, and I asked him what that all was about, and I think he told me. I can't remember what it was now. And I said, thanks ever so much for talking to us. And he said, yeah, that's all right. And off they went with their group of people on these rides. They'd come out for the day. They were Amish. And Amish people live extremely simple lives. There's a Channel 4 programme on, apparently. As reported in The Sun. And people like you and like me have gone to try out what it's like to be Amish. It is a decision, or how they, I think most of them are born into it, or you can decide to join them and live like them. Let me read you the story in The Sun. People have tried it and they didn't get on with it. The Sun reports it's been heralded as a groundbreaking experiment. A group of British people leave behind their 21st century comforts for the summer to live by the principles of the Amish community, whose main means of transport is the horse-drawn buggy. No cars. It says, sadly, the latest iPhone would have lasted longer than some contestants managed to stick it out on Channel 4's The Simpler Life, which is a programme I'd like to go and watch that. I don't know if it's on yet, is it? It says in The Sun, I'm told that the experiment, scheduled to last 4 months, was all too much for many competitors, with the vast majority walking out long before the planned finish date. In fact, one chap managed just 8 days before deciding to bow out of the challenge, which was being filmed deep in the Devon countryside. The mass exits were largely down to culture clashes between the modern living Brits and the Amish family, who ignore all the trappings of the 21st century. Now, you know, if you're going to go into something like this, you've got to respect those other people. There's so many people out there that just don't respect the other side anymore, you know? A good example was if I was to go and visit another religious place. Let's take a mosque. I would like to visit a mosque at some point. If I was to visit a mosque, I believe you're supposed to take your shoes off, yeah? Then you damn well take your shoes off. Don't sit there and argue, oh, I want to leave my shoes. No! Respect their religion. Respect them. They will respect ours. There's a small minority that don't, but most of them will. And you can just imagine these. I bet it was full of self. Because the trouble is with the TV companies, they won't pick people that are going to fit in, I wouldn't imagine. To make good TV, they want people to go there and row all the time, don't they? That's what they want. I'm sure that is the case. Anyway, it goes on. The Miller family, devout Christians from Ohio, put the group to work on a farm. A source said the whole point of the show was to see just how long modern Brits could fare without all the bells and whistles of the 21st century. The answer was quite simple, not very well at all. Hardly any of the original 24 got to the end of the process. Most walked out after getting fed up to the basic way the Amish family wanted to do things. Well, why did you go on it then? they were chosen by the television people to have rows and that sort of thing. It's very sad, really, you know. If this is something I would have done, actually. I would have tried something like this, to be honest. And I like to think I would have done my damn best to fit in with their way of life. The group would be woken up at 6:30 in the morning daily, followed by a breakfast of porridge. After that, the men would head out to the farm, while the women prepared lunch. The source added it was all about who was pulling their weight and who was shirking. It caused a lot of tension. There were a lot of cultural differences, and it was clear many were not going to see eye to eye. Those with children struggled the most, given they all had their creature comforts taken away and were fed quite basic food for weeks on end. They missed their own old lives the most. Interesting, isn't it? Interesting. Would you go on something like that at all? What's it called? The Simple Life. Channel 4's The Simpler Life. There's a link there. Hang on a minute. Channel 4's A Simpler Life. No, it doesn't say. But apparently a lot of the contestants walked off. Channel 4, The Simple Life. Hang on. When's it on then? Simple Life. Oh, it's on All 4. What's All 4? Is that Channel 4? I don't know what that is. Come on. Up you come. Oh, yeah, it's available. It's 2 episodes so far. I'm going to watch one of those later. Absolutely, yeah. I'll watch one of those later. Hang on. By the way, Vera... Yeah. See that? Remember you getting me these? I'm using those all the time, you know. There's one at the caravan and 2 here. One up here and one down in the living room. These are used every single day. Thank you very much for those. It was a good present that was. Thank you, Vera, for those. So what's that? The Simpler Life All 4. All 4. There we go. Lovely. Vera's choice in the morning. Sorry, Joy. I'm certainly going to watch that. Could you live simpler? Could you do that, do you think? Even the food seems very basic and simple, doesn't it? Hello to Sherry Parish. Hello, Sherry. Good evening, Chris and all your viewers. Already starting with my new job. So far, so good. Well done, Sherry. I'm pleased to hear it, darling. I'm getting used to starting at 7 o'clock in the morning, but it's a long day. Yeah, I should think it is, my love. I should think it is. Nice to see you, Sherry. I'd be happy. Be happy, my darling. There's John Parish. Sherry's enjoying her new job. Busy studying at the moment. Henderson's all the money I'm send you. What's Henderson's? Busy studying at the moment. Henderson's all the money I'm send you. Not so much of the old dear. Many a good tune. Do you want to send that again, John? That doesn't make sense. Busy studying at the moment. Henderson's all the money I'm send you. Not so much of the old dear. Too many a good tune. Just rephrase all that, would you? It's not making sense. Please, John. Thank you. Maureen had a nice surprise today. A bouquet of flowers from her daughter for Mother's Day. I'm so pleased to hear that, Maureen. I'm really pleased to hear that. I was thinking of going to the Ideal Home exhibition tomorrow. Has anyone already been there? It's on at Olympia till Sunday. Anyone been to the Ideal Home? Years ago I went. I was having this conversation with Maureen last night, actually, in the car. Yeah. I went years ago, and in those times, if you went in the past, you'll know, you used to get all these different samples and everything, didn't you? Samples of stuff. Thank you, Maureen. Anyone else been there recently? Right. Let's just pop into the chat box there. Gary Ross, Amish, simple country living, no TV, no mobile, no radio. No power tools, just hand tools, and they grow their own food. Wonderful, really. Wonderful. Could you live like that? I tell you what, I'd love to wean myself off this damn mobile phone. I pick it up all the time, looking at stuff. How do you... Because I've been doing it for years now. We all have, haven't we? I'll just check that, see if I've got any messages there. Innit? All the blooming time you're doing it. I'd love to wean myself off that. I don't know how to do it though. Do you like have to go cold turkey and I don't know, leave it at home? Who leaves their mobile phone at home anymore? Anyone? You take it in the car just in case you're going to break down. Well, we used to break down in the past, didn't we? Difference was then, I think we had a lot more phone boxes, didn't we? You know, if your car breaks down, you want to know that you're able to call someone. I don't know, maybe turn it off and put it somewhere else. I don't know. I'd love to get myself off that. Michael Lawrence says, I see that Advisors Chris is not sure when it comes on, but I'll be watching it. Sorry. What'd you say, Michael? What's that? I don't know what that means. I see that Advisors Chris is on. You're going to have to check when you write your bleep messages. I can't work out half of them. Thank you. Greg's watched it already. Have you, Greg? Thank you, Greg. No, I'll watch one of those tonight then after I finish watching Holby City with my tissues. Dan Woodhouse went to the Ideal Home exhibition in 1986. He got his hand severed by an electric can opener. Did you really? Cool, dear me. That sounds nasty, doesn't it? Would you like to live like the Amish? I bet you wouldn't. I mean, I'd certainly try. I would have gone on that programme and tried and respected what they did. I'd do my damn best to fit in with them. I just can't imagine what it'd be like without the phone, really. There we go, Glenda. We have Amish in Pennsylvania. Do you ever bump into any of them, Glenda, at all? Did you bump into them? When we spoke to that bloke and his girlfriend, we were only young, 22, 23, they'd all gone out for the day. This large group, they all seemed to be young people. They'd all gone out for this day at SeaWorld, I think it was. Ever so nice to talk to. Wonderful. I wonder if they're like subject to a little bit of, would you call that racism or anti-Amish? Are they subject to that at all? You know what some people are like because they just don't fit in with everyone else. People are vile, aren't they? People are vile when they see like a different group of people, whoever they are, and they start becoming horrible to them. Never understand that. Thank you, John. Sherry's enjoying her new job. Busy studying at the moment. Hence all the money I'm sending you. Well, just keep it coming, John. You know. Could I give you my bank account? You can just plonk it straight in there. Instead of sending me £1 now and again, what you could do is send me, say, £1,000 now, and that would sort you out for the rest of the year, wouldn't it? You wouldn't have to worry again. Huh? He says, many a good tune played on an old fiddle. Yeah, that's true enough. That's true enough. Oh, look who it is. The head of the Catholic Church on the Isle of Wight has joined us, Shania Steele. Hello, Shania. You're a bit late, love. We've just done the whole hot cross bun things here. Do you know, they're now doing cheese hot cross buns, Shania. We were just talking about it earlier. Not good, is it, really? Not good. Vera says, I left my mobile phone switched off and at home for 3 months. Wow. How? How'd you do that? I mean, the other thing is, of course, I use this. I mean, it does so much, this. So much. It's my sat-nav. Waze I use. Waze sat-nav. I always have it on the way to work. People say, well, don't you know your way to work? Well, of course I don't know my way to work. But there's lots of different routes. And the traffic changes, isn't it? One week it'll be traffic that way. And this gadget here is supposed to try and get me around the traffic somehow. And she also says, on the subject of the Amish there, I don't think I could hack all that cooking, cleaning, sewing, wearing the clothes. I'd rather be with the men folks farming. Mind you, I'll keep the hat. Oh, they've got great hats, haven't they? I don't think I've got a picture of the those lovely Amish people. Let me see if I can... There's the Butler's one. Where's that gone now? I might have... Oh, here it is. The Amish people. Where are they? There they go. Let's take a picture for you and show you, my darlings. I bet they're lovely people, I bet. Very simple people. Simple. Not simple as in... Oh, I don't like to say stupid. And just because people are a bit simple doesn't mean they're stupid. It just means they're a bit different, you know. They're very, not simple people. Basic. Basic people. Basic, I think, is the better word. There we go. There you go. Hang on a minute. Where are we now? There we go. Oh, sorry. That's my litter from earlier. As you see, I take a picture of where the litter's been dropped and send it into the council. There we are. Here we are. There's the Amish people. That's a sort of kind of what would you call it? As a uniform or something like that, I suppose, wouldn't you? Yeah. Wonderful. Hello to Andrews Mowers and Very Small Engines. Hello to you, sir. Welcome to the show. Glenda, I could take you to a farm and have you see what they live like if you visit me. We had an Amish man help put a new roof on our house last summer. Super nice man and extremely hardworking. And Glenda, do you pay them with money, or do you give them something or do something in return? How does that work? As a matter of interest, do you pay them money? Like if I was to get a painter and decorator come here, actually, I just there is a few jobs I want done now. Yeah, I want my bedroom sorted out. There's a big hole in the wall that's got to be filled. But on the other hand, my new router's in there. You see, my Wi-Fi router. Now I've got to say this has worked extremely well tonight, hasn't it? I'll come to that in a moment. Got some technical news for you in a minute if you weren't with us at the beginning of the programme. There's Gary Ross says there's a good film, Kingpin Woody Harrelson, about an Amish 10-pin bowler. It's a comedy. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Very clever. Rachel says that picture was a load of rubbish. The one of my rubbish. Yes, that's what I have to do, Rach. You've often heard me say what I do is drop it at a road sign and I take a picture and then I fill in a little form all on the mobile phone. I send it to the council and they pick that up. Sometimes very quickly, within a couple of hours, sometimes after a couple of days. But that's what I do. I fill a bag up. See how big that bag is? Fill that bag up with rubbish and drop it. There's quite a few of us do this now. It's great bumping into someone else who's doing it sometimes. You're walking up the hill and then someone's walking down the other way. Oh, hello. Then we stop. We start talking about rubbish. How sad is that? I get people up at the sports centre say, oh, we saw you picking up rubbish. Do you work for the council? I'm like, no. Anyone who's got red bags is a volunteer. Thank you, Glenda. He worked for a construction company. Yes, they are paid with money. How interesting. Thank you, Glenda. Thank you, Glenda. All right. Built in Scotland, seen that one-handed bowler film as well there. Look at that. Thank you very much. Let me just scroll up a little bit there. Did we say hello to, I saw another name there, Andrews Mowers and Small Engines with us tonight for the show. Hello to you. Good. All righty. Yes, well, it's 17 minutes to 10, so we'll carry on a little bit longer. If you weren't with us at the beginning of the show today, just to let you know, I'm trying to experiment this evening. I've got a 4G router with one of the 3 SIM cards in it. There we go. One of those in it. To see how well this works over 4G. At the moment, I'm with Virgin Media paying £31 a month. That's due to run out in May. 3 are doing 4G broadband at the moment, £14 a month. And that's quite a huge saving, 14, so it's 14. I've also bought an external area, which I've got up on the side of the house, which I might even put up a little bit higher. But actually, this is working very well, isn't it? This has worked very well. And we've been over 4G this evening since around about 7:30. And I haven't lost a single frame drop out or anything like that. I don't really expect it to work as well as fibre. However, it's quite a huge saving. That was that. So it's £15 a month savings. That's 50, that's 30, 60, 90, 120, I think 150, 161. That's £180 a year saving. You know. That's the hotel and probably the petrol paid for a visit to my niece up in Scotland, which I hope to do at some point soon. I hope it's not going to be too long. Although I'm looking at sort of September, October, really. You know, I'm up at the caravan next month in a couple of weeks' time, then May, and then after May, of course, you've got June, July, August. holiday time. You don't really want to be going to a holiday destination in holiday time, if you see what I mean, if you can avoid it, so I don't. But I'm very pleased with how this 4G has worked tonight. Very pleased indeed. And it gives you, now that I've tried it, when Virgin ring up and say, why do you want to leave us? That's when you get the big deal, you see. Then you can say, well, I've already tried. You can say, well, I'm using 4G. And then they say, oh, well, it's not so good. Well, hang on a minute. I've just tried it. I've been trying it. Working perfectly fine. I've also done a radio show over this. No problems whatsoever. So basically, there's no wires tonight between me and you. There's no wires. It's all coming over the air. Isn't it clever? I've always said stuff is so clever. Of course, if I was Amish, I wouldn't be able to do any of this. See? Thank you very much. Evening to Daniel Walsh joining us there towards the end of the evening. Thank you very much. Gary says it might be cheaper to fly to Scotland with EasyJet. It is, Gary. £22.50. £22.50. The thing is, right, I'd love to go up by train. It's silly money on the train. It's like 300 quid return. It's silly money on the train. You couldn't make it up. And then you've got to get to Euston, or wherever it is they go. I think it's Euston they go from. Or there is a sleeper service, Caledonian Sleeper. That's 250 quid return. Right? To drive up there, it's a damn long drive. Although my sister says it doesn't seem to take as long because you're going through beautiful countryside, and I can relate to that. When we've been on holiday in Yorkshire with Gary and his family, when I've been on holiday with them, driving home from there through the most beautiful Yorkshire countryside, and it does go quick, about 11 hours. Ooh, it's a long time, isn't it, eh? The thing is with the plane, yeah, £22.50 EasyJet, that's fine. But you've got to get to the airport, right? Now, if you take your car, you're going to have to park there. That's going to cost you a good on 60 or 70 quid for the week to park in one of their car parks. So then you've already gone up now to sort of 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120 pounds. That gets me to Inverness. Now, knowing my niece and her husband, they'd probably pick me up from the airport there. I would imagine, no problem at all. But if I couldn't do that, then there's the journey from there to their place. It's difficult to know what to do. Difficult to know how to plan it, really. If I get my mate to drop us off at the airport, right, it's £7. I don't know what Gatwick are charging, but a lot of these places are charging £7.50, £10 to drop someone off. That is not park for 5 minutes. Literally, to go up the ramp, get out of the car, thank you very much, £7.50, please. And it's that sort of thing that makes me not want to do it. Right? I'd love to drive to London and do a bit more shopping now and again, but I won't because it costs too much to park. Why don't you go by train? Because to go by train is like £25 bloody return, off peak. I'm a bit like that. If I think I'm being ripped off, I don't do it. End of. If only more people would be like that, we wouldn't be paying all this stuff for stuff all the time. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's right. Up near Inverness, that's right. Lossiemouth, I think it's Lossiemouth, the RAF place on the east coast there. Thank you very much for your advice there, though. All right. Text, Shania's late this morning. As head of the Catholic Church on the Isle of Wight, I was obliged to attend our Rosary group meeting, but I'm here now. She says, as for Hot Cross Buns, I am speechless. Yes, so am I. They appear on the shelves earlier and earlier each year. Well, I don't think they appear on the shelves earlier and earlier, Shania. They're there all year round, even at Christmas. Crazy, isn't it? I generally only have... I have Hot Cross Buns every year on Good Friday. Now, I'm off the bread for Lent, but Hot Cross Buns on a Friday, that's okay. Do you know what I mean? And maybe Easter Sunday as well, or Easter Saturday if I've got some left over. And that's it. Definitely Good Friday. And I was just saying earlier, I've got the timer on the oven now as well. Right? So they will be ready for me in the morning when I wake up. Whole house smelling of Hot Cross Buns, just like it was when Mum and Dad was alive. Used to get up on Hot Cross Bun. Dad would go down to Coombs, the bakers, and come back with little brown bags, little brown paper bags full of Hot Cross Buns. And Mum would put them in the oven, and we wake up and the whole house would be smelling of Hot Cross Buns. God, how I miss that, don't you? Well, no, you don't. You've got your dad there, you lucky thing. Got your dad there, you lucky thing, haven't you? Perhaps I'll have pineapples on them this year. Did you know no one's mentioned the pineapple jacket? Very disappointed. I put this on specially for you today. Thank you very much. Okay. Let's carry on. What else have we got here? You go back in time and meet yourself. What would you say? Now, I mentioned this today because I've been watching oh, God, that tinnitus has just gone up really loud. Come on, down you go. Down. Down. I've got terrible tinnitus now. I think it's something to do with the radio show. Honestly. Where's the name of the film I've been watching? Oh, God, where's that gone now? Okay, let me think carefully. The Adam Project. That's it. The Adam Project. And it's about this little boy who bumps into this older bloke who is him. Okay? But he's done time travel. So he's come from the future, gone back. Who invented time travel? Their dad, accidentally. And they both meet up with their dad. But when I say both... Hang on a minute. Come on. That's better. And away it goes. They both meet up with their dad, except, of course, it's the same person, except one's very young and one's old. And this little boy is such a cheeky git. You want to slap him. He's so cheeky. And the older version of him. And it's a really good film. Really good film. But if you could do that, if you could go back in time, is there anything that you would tell your younger self? What would you tell your younger self? What advice would you give your younger self? I think my advice would be respect my mother and father a lot more than I did. I think I'd do that. Don't get married. I think I'd do that. And just be, I don't know, work hard. I've always worked hard anyway, so that wouldn't change. There's nothing financially I would do differently, I don't think. Be careful of what friendships you make as well. I think that's probably a good one. I've generally known people over the years and you think they're friends and they're actually only acquaintances. You know? Certainly many of the people I've bumped into at work over the years where you think you've got a really good friend there and then they're gone. You know? Maybe avoid people that are constantly running you down. There's been a few of those over the years as well. You know, you want people to support you, even if you're crap at what you did. I mean, like your parents. You know, there must have been one or two of you out there who weren't particularly good at anything. Or no, sorry, that's wrong. Everyone's good at something. You've just got to find out what it is. But there's one or two of you out there that weren't particularly good at something, but you did it because you liked it. And even though your parents knew perhaps you weren't that good at that thing, they still encouraged you, didn't they? I've often used the example on this programme of the father, not just the fathers, the mothers as well. Some parents who go and see their kids at sports matches, whether it be football, it's generally football actually, generally a football match. And perhaps that child, their child, is not very good at it. And they stand there on the side of the pitch and tell them, oh, you're really crap at that, son. I mean, how can you say that to a child? My parents weren't like that. They were very, very encouraging of everything I did. And I don't really have anyone like that pushing me along anymore. They pushed me along. And it's great to have someone like that. And if I met myself at a younger age, I would say, you know, learn to push yourself along. because those people won't always be there. Well, they're not now. You know, there's not really anyone that pushes me along. Not really. There was one bloke I worked for, Jimmy, his name was, at the Black Cap, and I was blowing my own trumpet. I was quite good at being a DJ those in the 90s. And I got a lot of work, and there was a couple of jobs. And these jobs came along, and I thought, I don't know about. And Jimmy, you know, do you want to do this on Saturday? Well, can you fill in here on Saturday night for 6 weeks? I said, well, hang on a minute. What music do you play there? And he didn't really have a clue what the music was. So I said to the barstaff, well, what music do you play? Well, it's house, but it's a little bit harder. Well, I don't really do that. I do pop. And Jimmy would be saying, he said, go on, try it. I reckon you'll be all right. And I'm like, no, I really don't want to. I don't want to do it. He said, promise you, you'll be fine. And I looked into it and I bought more music, a bit harder, more like the stuff that you and I would dance to actually, Fran. You know, house music, bang, bang, bang. And I did the night and it worked. But I wouldn't have done that myself. He pushed me along. And actually, Jimmy has pushed me along to a couple of jobs that I didn't think I'd want to do. And they've been perfectly all right. And you need someone like that in your life. And I would tell myself that if I was younger. Push yourself along a bit better. There really isn't anyone pushing me along anymore. Which is maybe why I don't get anywhere anymore. I don't know. What would you tell yourself? Vera emails in. She says, if I was to go back in time to meet my younger self, I can guarantee that my younger self would say, who are you and what do you want? And if my older self kept bugging my younger self, then I'm sure there would be a lot of swearing from my younger self. I didn't listen then, and going back to change it, it would still be the same. Everything in my life happened for a reason, and I'm grateful to have what I have got. But going back to save a life, now that's different. Thank you very much, Vera, for that. You got any comments on that one at all, boys and girls, do you think? Jason says, I'd tell my 19-year-old self, you can't have a different girlfriend every night of the week. Oh, please, you're straight, Jason, aren't you? You're straight, lad. Do me a favour. I'm just pointing at myself here, that's all I'm saying. A different one every night. What, just one? Bleeding amateurs. Amateurs, darling, amateurs. Mick built in Scotland said, I'd tell my 19-year-old self to slow down. Was you a bit faster in the car, Mick, was you? I got a speeding ticket in a Land Rover. I ask you. Was it an M4, just Cardiff? There's a gantry in Cardiff. There's a bleeding speed camera on the top of it, isn't there? And it got me in a Land Rover. I was only doing about 90. Wouldn't go any faster. Defender it was. I used to love those Defenders. So expensive to run now, though, aren't they? Well, they were then. You know. Jason, again, stay away from nasty girlfriends. Yeah, fair enough. Far enough. Anyone else there? Mandy reckons all I need is cheese to go with the jacket. Cheese and pineapple. Perhaps I'll get a cheese and pineapple jacket. I could stick bits of cheese on it, couldn't I, Mandy? Dan, I'd tell my 19-year-old self that I'm a word you're not allowed to use. Oh, that's funny, that is. All right, we'll do one more story for you today. Washing up liquid. We were talking earlier about how much you might want to spend on an Easter egg, and we had that beautiful Claridge's Easter egg, which I showed you earlier. Do you want to have another look? There it is. 60 quid these are, if you are. Sorry, there we are. £60 for one of those Easter eggs, which do look delicious, I must say. I can't see myself splashing out £60 on an Easter egg somehow. But there you go, they are available. How about washing up liquid? Washing up liquid, what would you spend on washing up liquid? Bet you wouldn't spend 14 quid, would you? Unless I told you it's Her Majesty's. Oh, yes. In the Metro, the Queen has proved she is not too posh to do her own dishes as she launches her very own brand of washing up liquid. There it is. Her Majesty, due to turn 96 next month, created a special cleaning product after discovering she loved the household chore during the pandemic. But unlike traditional supermarket brands, the natural dishwash, which is scented with botanical ingredients to produce the smell of coastal walks, costs £14.99 a bottle, which is a little bit more than the 59p I spent at Lidl the other day on their own brand. It's 500 millilitres, which features looks a little bit like hand wash, actually, doesn't it? But it is dishwash. I think it's dishwasher. I don't know. It features the Royal Sandringham Estate logo. Is priced at 10 times that of the popular brand Fairy Liquid. The label says the product has been inspired by a shared passion for protecting our environment. Are you going to buy any of this? It says, we have collaborated with Norfolk Natural Living to create our dishwash just 10 miles from the estate using the finest botanical ingredients. Her Majesty, who will celebrate the Platinum Jubilee, also recently launched her own dog perfume on sale at Sandringham. So there you go. $14.99 for some washing up liquid. Who's going to buy that one, eh? That's the sort of thing my mate would buy. I kid you not. He'd be looking for that in Waitrose if I let him know about it. John wants to know, does it make your hands feel soft as your face like mild cream Fairy Liquid? Mild green, dear. Not cream, it's green. Hands that do dishes are as soft as your face with mild green Fairy Liquid. Oh, wonderful, dear. Wonderful. 14 squid for washing up liquid. I know, Rachel. I bet you'll buy one. It might have it hasn't got the Queen's face on it, though. I reckon they should put her face on it, like on stamps. I just can't get enough stamps. They're so beautiful with a little Queen's face on there, aren't they? Eh? Dan's got his own Asda brand, lemon flavour there. All right. Okie doke. Vera is shocked. $14.99 for washing up liquid. You might as well throw your money down the drain. Very good. Very good, darling. Right, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thanks ever so much for joining us on the show. Thank you so much for your tips tonight. 3 quid from John Parrish, 10 quid from Gary Ross, which he'll probably ask back when he goes and buys his missus that £300 Easter egg from Harrods. She'll be getting very excited about that, I'm sure, your missus. I shall tell her later on. All right, thanks for joining us then, gang. Well, that works very well, doesn't it? The 4G internet there. So there's another little lever to try and keep my Virgin Media costs down. See, when you go and you have these discussions with your broadband, but if you can get hold of them on the phone, that is, when you apply to leave and they ring you, that's when you've got the upper hand. You've got to be prepared to walk away. And to prepare to walk away, you need to have other things in place ready to take over if you decide to leave, all right? There's my advice to you. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget, gang, don't fill up your car. Leave it till after midnight and you should find the price of petrol has come down 5 whole pence. Happy days. Thank you very much for watching us today. I'll be on the radio tomorrow morning. You're going to join me. Thursday morning on the radio, reachonair.com. Show starts just after 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. And there'll be another little chat show for you next Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. Thanks for watching and listening. Good night now.